What's up, guys? Welcome back to Disc Golf Weekly, and this week I have a video I'm super excited about. I think this is going to help a lot of you guys out. I know it helped me out a lot when I did a lot of this research, and what this video is going to be is going to be going over the benefits and negatives of different types of grips, explaining the form of each grip, what it helps with, what it might take away from your game, and maybe you'll find out about a grip you didn't know about, or you'll see what you're doing wrong with yours. So hopefully you guys enjoy this, and I'm going to send you over to the first grip. Alright guys, so here we are with the first grip, and I figured I'd start off with the very first one, make it easy. Most common grip I see out on the course, four-finger power grip. And what the four-finger power grip is you just take the pads of your fingers on your four fingers, and put those on the inside of the rim, and then just kind of put the disc in your hand. And I like to have my thumb right where the flight plate meets the rim. I like to just kind of put my thumb right on the crease there. Hopefully it shows up, you can see. And then what a lot of people do wrong is they'll push down with only their thumb, and that doesn't really help you. It kind of gets the nose of the disc down a little bit, but what you want to do to get more power and more distance out of your throws is you want to use this muscle right here in your hand. You don't want to only use that. You still want to use both. You want to push down with your thumb and with the pad of your thumb. You get a lot more pressure on the disc that way. You can get a lot more power, and your disc is going to fly a lot farther doing that. And this is the most common grip I see. It's the most comfortable. It's the most basic. If somebody were to just grab a disc, this is how they would hold it normally, just because that's the way it fits into your hand. So moving on, we're going to get into some more complicated grips, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. So moving on from the power grip, the four-finger power grip, what we have next is it's a variation of the power grip. It's used by a lot of the top pros. The most well-known is Ken Climo. You guys probably all know who he is. He uses this grip on pretty much every shot. And it's called the stack or the fork grip. You basically start off with a power grip like this. You take your pinky and put that on the rim. Take your ring finger and put that on top of your pinky. And I'm going to show you a top view. That's why I'm using a clear disc. I'm going to show you a top view, and it's a lot easier to see it that way. You take your pinky, put it on the ring finger on top of your pinky, and then middle finger kind of on top of that, on the flight plate. And then you take your index finger and just wrap it around normally. So on top, it should look like that. With all your fingers, these three fingers kind of stacked up against each other. Your pinky's the only one on the rim, and then your index finger. You keep your thumb in the same place. You still want to use this pad on your hand. And this one, it doesn't give you quite as much power, but you can get a lot more snap on it. It won't rip out of your hand quite as hard, but it's a very versatile grip. You can use this grip for anything. And I know Ken Climo and a couple other top pros, they'll use this for everything except putting. They'll use it for drives, mid-ranges, upshots. It's a very uncommon backhand shot, but it does work really well. So it's very new to my game. I'm working on it right now. It works pretty well for me. I've only been working at it for about a week or so. So I'm trying to get a little bit better with it. Right now I don't have quite as much accuracy as with a regular four-finger power grip, but I've noticed I've thrown about 5 feet farther when I do everything right. So definitely check out the stack grip if you haven't already. And I'll throw you guys to the next one. Alright guys, so what we have next is it's called the split finger, or the split power, or the fork grip, excuse me. And what it is it looks kind of like this. And what it is you basically take a normal four-finger power grip, and you take your index finger and your pinky finger, and you kind of, instead of using more of the tip part of your finger, you're going to use more towards your last joint on the finger. So you take it and you kind of move it so the tip of your finger is more on the flight plate, and what that does is that gets a lot more of the pressure on your index finger, so you can get a lot more snap that way. And this is the grip that you're going to see pretty much all your top pros using. And a lot of the times what you'll see with people is, and Nico LaCastro does this a lot, this is what he does the most out of everyone, is he'll take his thumb and put it more like this, towards the center of the flight plate. And that way you can get a lot more power, but not quite as much accuracy as if you have your thumb out here. You can get a lot more power and a lot more snap on your throws. It's going to go a lot farther that way, but you're going to lose some accuracy doing that. And the reason I don't use this grip is it doesn't feel comfortable in my hand. It doesn't feel right. So I've noticed when I try that it affects my shots negatively when it doesn't feel right and it doesn't feel good coming out of my hand. So that's why I don't use that one. And the last modification of the power grip that I'm going to show you guys is, I don't know the actual name for it, because before I even heard about it on the internet and stuff, I had made it up on my own. But I've seen on the internet it being called the birdie grip, so maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. And you take a power grip, a 4-finger power grip, and you take your middle finger and just kind of fan it out. And now what a lot of people do is they'll put it underneath their middle finger, or underneath their thumb, excuse me, so you're kind of pinching with your middle finger and your thumb on the flight plate, and then your other 3 are still in a power grip form. But I like to leave my thumb up here towards the rim, but I use this, it's not as powerful, so I use this for fairway drivers and mid-range shots, because it gives me a lot of accuracy and not as much power. But with a mid-range and a fairway driver and stuff like that, you don't need as much power. You're not throwing for 450-foot bombs. You're trying to be more accurate and get close to the pin. So that's what I use this for. It's a really nice grip. It feels really comfortable in the hand. Definitely try this one out if you haven't already. Now moving on to forehand, there's 3 very easy grips. They're all very similar to each other for forehand shots. The one I use, which I absolutely don't recommend to people, is I just use a 1-finger like this. If you're new and you're just trying out forehand, definitely do not do this, because you have almost no accuracy with it. What you want to do is you want to use one of the 3 main ones. You can use either a 2-finger, where you have just 2 fingers on the rim like this with the pads on the flight plate, or you could turn them and stack them like this, and you get more power, but you don't have much accuracy that way. So I definitely recommend doing it this way. You have almost as much power and a lot more accuracy. The next one is the 2-finger kind of a split grip, where you take your 2 fingers, put them like this, and split your index finger out towards the middle. And this is sort of similar to that birdie grip that I was showing with the backhand, where you don't have as much power, but you have a lot more accuracy with it this way. So if you're looking for a more accurate shot but not very far, try this one out. And the last one, it's not as common. A lot of newer players will try it to get more distance, but you don't have very much accuracy at all with it. And it's the forehand power grip, where you have, I'm going to show it from the top because it's easier to see, but you have your index finger, bent on the flight plate like that, and then your middle finger is kind of on the rim like that. And you get a lot of snap this way and a lot of torque on the disc, but not a whole lot of accuracy, so I wouldn't recommend this one. I would recommend, if you're going to do a forehand, just do the regular 2-finger grip. Now I want to move over to more of a fan grip, and I switched to a putter because when I putt I use a fan grip. You can also use it on mid-ranges and drives. You don't get much power at all with them, but you do have really good control of the disc and a lot of accuracy with it. And what it is you take a power grip and you just kind of move your fingers out. I like to leave my pinky kind of tucked in. You can move your pinky out as well, whatever feels comfortable. It doesn't make much of a difference. And the 2 main differences between fan grips are you either have your index finger tucked underneath the rim, or you have it sitting on top of the rim. Neither one is really better than the other. I personally like to have it tucked under. I feel like you can get a little bit more of a snap on it for longer putts, or if you're doing a short upshot. But if you want to leave your finger on it like this, that's fine too. There's no big difference. But one thing that you want to try and focus on is take your thumb, and instead of leaving it out towards the edge like you would on a driver, try and move your thumb more towards the middle. You get a lot more control over the disc. You have a lot more pressure on the flight plate, so you can kind of, you don't have to worry about it bending as much on you if you're using a softer disc, obviously. So try that out. Move your thumb out more. It's really nice for putting. You can get a good spin on it, and it's going to go right into the chains. Instead of having your putt kind of fade out at the end, you get a lot more spin on it, and it's going to go a lot straighter, a lot more accurate that way. So I definitely recommend trying those out if you're not already. Alright, now what I want to show you guys is I want to show you the more specialty grips, stuff you're not going to use very often, but it might save you every once in a while. And I'm going to start off with the grenade grip, it's called. It's basically the exact same thing as a 4-finger power grip, except with a 4-finger power grip you have your fingers on the rim. With the grenade you're going to spin the disc and have your fingers on the flight plate and then your thumb on the rim. And what a grenade shot is you hold the disc like this and you basically just throw a sky hyzer line. And what it does is the disc just comes out of your hand and just drops straight down. You want to use something really overstable for that, but if you're trying to get over trees or over some bushes or something like that and you can't fade left or right, the grenade goes just straight up and straight down. So it's a very useful throw every once in a while, but you're not going to be using it very often. And the other specialty grip that I want to show you is for thumbers. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to hold the disc like this in your hand and just kind of rotate it along your thumb so that now the rim is right here on the, whatever this part of your hand is called, I don't even know. You put the rim right there, keep your fingers on the flight plate side, take your thumb and tuck it in on the rim, and then just close your fingers around the disc. So you have it locked in nice and tight. And what a thumber is it's basically the opposite of a tomahawk. So how a tomahawk, obviously tomahawks you want to throw them the same as forehand, and a tomahawk you're going to throw it and it's going to curve like that. A thumber does the exact same thing but the opposite direction, so it goes and it curves kind of like this and drops down. It can be very useful, again, just as useful as tomahawks can be, but if you're going for distance, I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend either a regular backhand or a regular forehand, whatever is comfortable for you. So those are the grips I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if there's any grips that you guys think I missed, let me know. Let me know what kind of grips you guys use. If there's something that you use that I didn't cover, leave that in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next week. Peace.